Hi, everybody. This is Crypto Rich, working with you to get rich with crypto, filling our pockets with crypto profits. And in this video, I have a little secret, a very, very little but important and growing secret. And we're going to be finding out about that in this video. Now, before I introduce my guest, please subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Crypto Rich YT, join my official Telegram announcements channel. And if you're watching this on YouTube, come over to BitTube, censorship resistant platform. Plus, you can earn crypto, and you can also find me on Bitchute, Lbry, and Odyssey.
Travelling to a game either at Anfield or maybe following the Reds away from home. There's a good chance you'll be connecting to public Wi-Fi somewhere along the way. But did you know that the free Wi-Fi is the hacker's favourite pitch? So instead of chasing the ball, they're ready to steal your sensitive information.
Hey, I think it's afternoon where you are, right, Tor?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, good afternoon, Tor, and good evening from England, where I am. You are one of the lead devs, I understand, or the founder or co-founder of Secret Network. We're going to find out, right?
Yeah, I'll explain it all. Sure.
Yes.
So my name is Tor Bair. I'm the founder of Secret Foundation, which is one of the many entities supporting Secret Network. We have a very fun and decentralized ecosystem of contributors, from developers to node operators to application builders and users and delegators. So we're quite global at this point. I manage a small piece of the ecosystem, which revolves a lot around privacy advocacy and education and global adoption of open source privacy technologies like Secret Network. So happy to join you today, tell you a little bit about what we've been working on for the purposes of the network, and a little bit about why privacy is so essential to the blockchain space, and then just to people in general all over the world.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Just on that last point, I'm with you on that. And it isn't just privacy for the blockchain space, it's privacy for freedom. No privacy, no freedom. So when I heard about Secret Network, somebody I know passed it on. I had a look, like, oh my god, I got to find out about this, right? Because I'm connected to a few privacy-focused projects myself. Okay, so the one we're going to be talking about is Secret Network. SCRT is the ticker symbol for the token, and scrt.network is the website. And I've done an explainer video, but I don't quite understand it. Do you want to tell us what Secret Network is well, I kind of understand what it does, but how it does that? Do you want to say what Secret Network is in a nutshell?
Yes. In a nutshell, the easiest way to understand Secret Network is if you already understand something like Ethereum, right? It really depends what you're familiar with. It depends on your familiarity when I start to describe the project. If you know Ethereum, then you know it's a smart contract platform for Web3. You may not know that everything on Ethereum is public by default, all of the data on the blockchain. And that has huge privacy risks, but also security risks. There's a huge cost in terms of usability for applications. So what Secret is it is an independent smart contract platform, right? It's separate, standalone blockchain. But instead, everything is data privacy by default for smart contracts on our network. And then privacy by default, but public when you need it. You can really only go that direction. If something is public by default, it is incredibly difficult to impossible to make it private again. Like that is kind of the point. But if something is private by default, it's quite cheap to reveal it to somebody when you need to. So we think privacy by design, privacy by default is the way to be developing decentralized technologies. Now, if you don't know what Ethereum is, or you don't know what Bitcoin is, right? You're very new to the space. I would rather start from the angle of like, what is the ethos of the project? Why does something like this need to exist? And from that point of view, I say, well, if you care about privacy, data privacy for yourself, or as you're saying, freedom and consent for individuals, you should care about decentralization. You should care about permissionless, uncensorable platforms. And if you care about decentralization, if you care about not having risks to your future from centralized entities like Facebook or Amazon or whomever, or governments themselves, like becoming central points of failure, if that concerns you and you like decentralization, well, then you should care about privacy. Because ultimately, if there's a decentralized platform like a Bitcoin or like an Ethereum, but no privacy, all that happens is we create a massive global surveillance state. And it's not improving the world we came from. It's actually a much scarier outcome. So to sum it up, I say that Secret Network lives at the intersection of decentralization and privacy, which is critical, because I don't think we can have true privacy and protect users without decentralization. And I don't think we can have true decentralization and empower users unless you protect their privacy.
Yeah, listen, I got no argument with you on that one, none whatsoever. And I did say to you offline that I'm connected to a bunch of projects that are into privacy, into decentralization, because then there's no point of failure, single point of failure. It's difficult to capture. It's dispersed. can't be
Right.
captured and regulated and controlled. So that's great. Now I want to take you back to secret network. So when I was thinking about this, right, I thought, well, there's Ethereum, and then there's smart contract and all the applications running on top of Ethereum, of which I'm very familiar, and many people will be because they'll have ERC20 tokens and invest in DeFi and stuff like that. And I thought secret network was some sort of layer solution that's on top of it, but you said it's a separate blockchain.
Yeah. So if you think about the evolution, let's start at Bitcoin, right? The original, really, cryptocurrency. There were these two separate tracks of evolution. One sort of took us from this like value transfer protocol of Bitcoin toward the programmable money. That's like Ethereum, these smart contracting platforms. And ERC20s are an example, right, of programmable money built on top of Ethereum. Meanwhile, there was this other track of evolution where Bitcoin turned into, things like Monero, where you were just adding privacy properties to a transactional coin. And it wasn't meant to be a smart contracting platform or anything like that. It was just supposed to be the same sort of transactional platform, but with privacy for transaction, like sender, receiver, amount, things like that. Secret Network is sort of watching those two evolutionary streams now coincide again. So you have a platform like Ethereum that's programmable, but at the same time, the contracts that are on that platform are privacy preserving. So Secret Network is a standalone blockchain, but our vision is not just to be like this separate standalone universe that none of these other blockchains can interact with. Actually, our vision is for Secret to become a privacy hub for all public blockchains where we can interoperate with these other public blockchains. You can have assets that live on those blockchains represented on Secret Network. You can pass messages to and from Secret Network and utilize the privacy preserving properties of Secret Network as just another fundamental pillar of the Web3 stack. So you could build a decentralized application that leverages Ethereum, leverages IPFS, leverages Secret Network, and combine that all together to create something truly unique and truly groundbreaking. But you really can't build those applications unless you've figured out all of those foundational layers. So we just consider Secret one of those foundational Web3 layers that works with Ethereum, but isn't trying to replace it.
Okay, so let's look at the nature of this blockchain, this separate blockchain. Is it proof of work, proof of stake? Is it something else entirely?
Good question. So Ethereum is transitioning, right, from proof of work to proof of stake. Bitcoin is remaining proof of work. Secret started and remains a delegated proof of stake protocol. So there's nodes that operate in the network, and then anybody who holds the coin can actually delegate to those nodes. So Secret Network is based on Tendermint SDK, which is what is underlying Cosmos and a lot of the other blockchains in the Cosmos universe. And you might already know, or listeners may or may not know, that Cosmos is very concerned with interoperability. That is the vision of Tendermint and IBC, their inter-blockchain communication protocol that they've been developing. So when it came time to launch Secret, it was a natural choice to want to use the Tendermint SDK because we have this vision for interoperable privacy. So all these Tendermint chains use this delegated proof of stake model. So we have a lot of nodes operating in the network. As an individual holder of SCRT, you can choose to operate your own node, or you can choose to delegate to any of the active nodes in the network. And when you do, you're improving network security, and you're also earning a share of network inflation of the block rewards that are generated in that network. And I think that's a very good security model. It's somewhat more centralized than other models, but definitely more decentralized than other models. It works pretty well for our purposes. It works pretty well for Cosmos. It works pretty well for a lot of Tendermint chains, which everybody from like Cosmos to exchanges have a lot, like BINANCE and OKX, and have their own Tendermint chains, right? So it's a consensus model that's relied upon by a lot of the biggest blockchains in the world, and we're proud to be one of them, and very excited about the technical direction that the Cosmos universe is taking.
Okay, and then if somebody wanted to run a node, is there a minimum number of tokens or coins that they need to hold?
So this is a native coin for the network. So I always try to say coin. I mean, a lot of people will use coin and token interchangeably, but for us, it's actually very important because Ethereum, right, on Ethereum is paid for gas, but you can have ERC20s, and you'll talk about Uniswap is an ERC. These are tokens, and they're ERC20s. I think of Ethereum as the native coin of the network. Similarly, on Secret Network, SCRT is the native coin of the network, and you use it to stake. You use it to participate in governance. You use it to pay network fees and gas, just like you use Ethereum to pay gas when you use a DEX, right? And on top of Secret Network, you can issue tokens, just like you can issue tokens on top of Ethereum. So that's why I always try to say SCRT is a coin. It's the native coin of the network, but you can have tokens built on top of it. So if you have SCRT, you really only need like a minimum of a secret to set up your own node. And then the top 50 nodes are considered the active set. So it's ranked by how many coins you're staking plus the number of coins that have been delegated to you. And the top 50 nodes by the number of delegations are considered in the active set, and they earn a share of inflation. So it's a competitive model, but at the same time, it really helps with network security and stability because it ensures that people do have skin in the game when they choose to support the network. It's a model, again, that's extremely common elsewhere in the industry, and we're seeing more and more chains choose to embrace the security model. And of course, some of the largest chains in the world, like Ethereum, are moving to a proof of stake model because it's proven to be so effective and somewhat secure without being particularly wasteful.
Okay. And when did it start, Secret Network?
It's fun. We're doing this interview on February 12th, 2021. And Secret Network launched on mainnet on February 13th, 2020. So as of tomorrow, it'll be exactly a year. But I don't think we're going to be holding a very large celebration, but it's something to look at as quite a bit of a journey. That's when the first iteration of mainnet launched. And then privacy-preserving smart contracts launched on mainnet in September of 2020, which was a massive milestone. And on top of that, you've seen people start building applications, issuing tokens. Like that was the functionality that was really critical to the scaling of the network. So depending on what you want to think of as sort of the genesis of, the genesis of Secret's vision goes back long before that. This has been in development for many years. But the mainnet launch was in February. The private smart contract launch was in September. And now we're seeing a lot of the first major product launch here in 2021, which really is just the beginning, right? If you think about Ethereum's launch, and then you think about when did things really start to launch on Ethereum? Well, it was when people really started to use ERC20s and build applications on top of the platform. And that's the stage of our history that we've finally come to. So I think all of the growth is ahead of us, even though it's been a pretty exciting year of growth since launch.
Right. Okay. So you're at the stage now where projects can launch their applications on your network. Mm-hmm. Right. And have any launched, or what sort of applications are being launched? What's coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can build on Secret. The way that I describe it is, think of any application that you would use in the Web 2 world, in the regular world, whether it's an Uber or Facebook or whatever. Because people ask me like, okay, so what is Secret good for? Tell me what you would build on Secret. And I say, okay, well, tell me an application you would build anywhere, but like you'd want it to live on Ethereum. So people say like, I want a decentralized Uber. I want a decentralized Facebook. It's like, I like these apps, but I want them to be permissionless. I don't want centralized parties in control of all of that data. There's a reason to want to decentralize. And then I say, okay, well, imagine building a decentralized Uber, but all of your data is public all of the time to everyone. It's not just to the driver. Like you have to expose all of that data on chain and say like, here is my home address, and everybody on the network knows it. From the miners to the users. That's what a public by default blockchain gets you. You think about that in the context of Facebook, but you also talk about that in the context of what's happening right now with DeFi. So decentralized finance, if everything is public, everybody can see exactly what your Ethereum address does. So that creates not just privacy concerns, right? Somebody finds your address, like sure, everybody knows that risk, but even just using the applications themselves, it creates a risk. So front-running attacks are one of the most common things that get cited because effectively on Ethereum and other layer 1 blockchains, miners can always see the future. They see when all of these transactions and smart contract interactions enter the mempool. With Secret Network, because the state of smart contracts is encrypted, the miners can't front run. They can't actually see what's happening in the transaction before it gets processed. So all of that security is beneficial when you're building especially decentralized financial applications on Secret Network. So some of the very first applications we've seen launch on the network have been focused on decentralized finance. We already launched on mainnet a decentralized auctions product, where you can put a token up for auction for another token. So you could sell, for example, a secret version of Ethereum for a secret version of USDT, or a secret, for example. And you can auction as much of it as you want for anything else. You set a minimum price. People submit private bids. The auction runs for as long as you set. And then at the end of that, if there was a winning bid, they make the trade. It's automatically executed. So it's a decentralized, relatively trustless over-the-counter trading platform for block trades. That I thought was super cool. And you can really only build it with Secret, especially the part where you want the bids to be private from the other participants and from the seller, which is how it works in bond auctions, for example, in the real world. Then, of course, the biggest launch that we have, I'm not sure when this will come out, but on February 17th on mainnet, we're launching Secret Swap, which is a front-running resistant AMM. So it's like Uniswap, but it lives on Secret Network. It supports any secret token. So anything that can be represented on a secret token on Secret Network, you can use inside of Secret Swap. And again, because it has front-running resistance, you're not constantly getting like poor execution through bots. It's also substantially cheaper than using Uniswap because it's built on Secret, not directly on Ethereum. So it's effectively in that case, even though Secret is its own independent blockchain, in that event, we function more as like a layer 2 to Ethereum. And you're
Right.
seeing layer 2 solutions become very popular because of the fee situation. So we're really excited about that launch. The community is as well. And all of this is part of Secret DeFi, right? This ecosystem of front-running resistance liquidity that's going to be native to Secret Network and support cross-chain assets. I think that's the first killer use cases you're going to see for the network, but it's barely scratching the surface, barely, for what the network
Amazing.
is capable of.
That's amazing. Okay, and I mean, I got so many questions running through my head. Let me just take a moment, right? See what's next. Okay, so let's
Sure.
start with transaction costs and bloat, because
Mhm.
I took part in ICOs in 2017 and everything, right? And I've been running my channel since April 2017. I'm very familiar with Ethereum and ERC20 and gas
Sure.
fees. Oh my god, they're ridiculous. I thought I don't have any SCRT coins right now. I'm going to go and get some. But
Right.
one of the concerns that I have is converting my ETH or my USDT in
Right.
order to buy SCRT somewhere. It's like, oh, how much am I going to have to pay? So how does
Right.
SCRT deal with that?
Well, because we're not on Ethereum, right? It's not an Ethereum token, right? Not the native coin anyway. Like it's very different. Like to acquire SCRT right now, to date, before the launch of auctions and before the launch of Secret Swap, you'd have had to go to like a centralized exchange
Right.
to do it. So we have two ways that we're trying to solve. For example, the acquisition of Secret.